begin, we always ground down at the beginning. How do you like grounding down?
Setting my intention.
You set your intention, right? You're going to have to keep your voice up, otherwise people can't hear you. Okay, but before we set... Oh, DJ has something to say. DJ! Shh. Enough. Okay, so before we set our intention, we need to grow our roots into the earth. Agreed?
Yes.
Right, DJ, grow your roots into the earth. No. Sit down. Enough now. Enough. Okay, sorry about that.
He likes talking to us.
He does like talking to us. Monica from Kosovo.
Wow.
That's where your step grandmother, kind of that area where she's
I
from.
don't know who that is.
Ludmilla. Yes. Okay, so let's ground down and imagine we're these beautiful, big, old, majestic trees. You doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are your roots tickling?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and let's let our roots, hi Fernanda, grow deep into the earth. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Let's do that again. Take a deep breath in and a third time. We'll do it 3 times, right?
Yes.
Take a deep breath in. Exhale through your nose. And welcome, session 7. Our final session of the Ease Challenge. We've been doing 7 days. I've been telling you some stuff about it, right? And today we're dealing with our crown chakra. You know, up here. That's
we started
right.
from the toes.
We started
all
from
the way up.
That's right. We grounded down. That's where we connected the soles of our feet, right? And then on the first day we worked on first chakra, and then we've moved up. So today is D-Day. It's C-Day, crown chakra day. And I brought Grace along because I love hearing your wisdom, and I think people need to hear you share whatever you're going to share. And this is always a kind of surprise also for me, because obviously we don't script any of this.
No.
No, we just kind of set our intention first. So should we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you do your thing, and then you're going to hop off and get ready for bed.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue. Okay, so let's close our eyes. Let's roll our eyes up as if we're looking through the crown of our heads. Keep them rolled up there, and then say, even if I don't know how to open and balance and cleanse my crown chakra, so I am 100% connected to my intuition and the intelligence and the healing of the universe. All I do know is that it is so now, and I am fulfilled. I delete all that could stop me, and I download everything I need to do so now with
grace,
ease,
and joy.
Thank you. So it is.
So it is, so it shall be, or something even better.
That's nice. Keep your voice up. We want to hear you. We cleared our throat chakra yesterday, so we might have been a step ahead of you there. So keep it nice and noisy, because some people don't hear so well. You know, even if I'm kind of shouting at them, there'll be some people saying, I didn't hear you so well. So anyway, that happens. So Grace, my love, what does intuition mean to you? What is it?
Intuition means to me, we have two parts of our brain. So we have one part that's called the intuition, and the other part that's
the other part.
Okay. And the intuition is the one that always has the correct answer, and the other part always tries to confuse you and make sure you don't hear the correct answer. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
Right. It was like yada. I like that description. We sometimes say it's the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the conscious mind is kind of the tip of the iceberg, and then underneath we've got this huge unconscious mind. Nice. So then let me ask you, have you ever experienced that intuition helped you?
Yes, I have. I've used it for questions in school, for instance.
And you don't know the answer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So tell me an example. What lesson was it?
Math.
Oh, it was math. Okay, so you were doing a math problem and you got stuck?
I got stuck, so I asked myself, okay, what's this and this? And then I listened very carefully, and my intuition told me the correct answer.
Wow, that must have felt pretty good.
It was.
Nice. So, and another time? Do you have another time?
I do have another time.
What's another one?
Another time is when I was, one of the first days of school, I was going home by bike, and we didn't even know this apartment yet, and we were still living by Granny, and so I was like, oh God, which way do I go, left or right? So my intuition told me go left. That was the correct answer, and my other brain told me go right. Don't worry, that's definitely the right answer.
Oh.
Definitely.
And you listened to intuition,
Yeah.
and it was right.
Yeah.
Nice. So you found your way home due to intuition. That's really nice. Cool. So, okay, this is a tricky one. Okay. So what do you know about channeling? What does that mean to you?
Like tapping our points?
No, channeling. So,
Oh.
you know, when like when I do channeling, do you know what I mean? So when I kind of sit and bring answers and I've got my eyes closed and Daddy asks questions and stuff like that.
And you test if it's correct or
We also muscle test, but you know, the channeling itself, how does it feel? You know, you're my kid. How does it feel when you see me do that?
I feel safer.
You feel safer.
Mhm.
That's fun. Okay.
Because, for instance, I could, like, what things I couldn't ask, like, say, normal moms. Other moms is, for instance, is there gonna be a crisis, or they might not
So
even
stuff
know.
about the future.
Yeah.
Okay. So you find it helpful to be able to ask questions.
And I think it's helpful by helping by emotions too.
So it helps you kind of step out of that drama sometimes. Nice. Have you also had experiences like that? Will you share them with us? Hi, Mirella. Thank you for that. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
Can I say something about testing?
Of course.
Like muscle testing?
Muscle testing. Talk about muscle testing. So do you muscle test? Do you know what that is?
I do.
You do? Okay.
So, I'm going to say tapping my points. So when I tap my points, for instance, when I was super nervous to go to the dentist.
That's a good story. You could tell that one, yeah. Keep
When
it really short, but tell the story. So I'll lead in and then you take over.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was just a day or two ago, right? I told Grace the evening before we had the appointment, oh, sweetheart, we have a dentist appointment tomorrow. Because, you know, I thought that Grace was totally chill with going to the dentist. I thought the drama was done. When you were little, you were really scared, right? I remember that. But the last times you were super cool. But I underestimated one thing, and that was that we changed dentist, obviously, because we're no longer in the US, where you know and feel safe, right? This is now a different dentist. So the evening before I told Grace, and I already noticed, oh my goodness, someone's getting a little stressed here. So before she went to sleep, you did what?
I tapped my points.
She tapped her points about 10 times, and then you finally fell asleep. But it was kind of, you were still stressed, right?
Yeah.
So then we finally went to the dentist.
And I was like, after my mom helped
Oh, that's right. Okay, now I picked you up from school on the day. We were on the way to the dentist, and you were still kind of freaking out. Kind of, yeah, okay.
Sure about that, kind of?
Yeah. So you couldn't eat.
Nope.
You had diarrhea, kind of, sort of, you know, your digestive system was a bit messed up.
My stomach hurt.
Your stomach hurt, yeah.
I could not think very straight. Yeah.
So then I picked you up from school, noticed it, and then we did some of our work together. Genau. We actually did a process that we did just the other day. We did timeline therapy, remember? So you traveled up your timeline, you went back 32. To the very first time that kind of something happened to the dentist, and it was a past life, right? You said you were 42.
Yep, and I was a woman.
So she got all these impressions, and then we reframed it, right?
Yep.
And then literally from 1 minute to the next,
I was completely chill. I was just like,
louder.
Okay, okay, we're gonna go to the dentist. Okay.
True. She totally relaxed in that moment. That moment. Loredana's saying you look so nice. Yeah, we put on our white stuff because
the crown.
That's right. Because the color of the crown chakra is white and gold. And the gold that we have would have shown too much skin. So we decided we're going to go for this pretty white stuff. Hi, Nicole Ganser. Do you remember Nicole from Bali?
I do, yes.
There you go. She's watching right now. Isn't that nice? It's That's how we stay connected here. Okay, so we have shared the color of the crown chakra, and we've kind of already talked about the topics of the crown chakra because it's all about the connection to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being able to be a crystal clear channel of information that is helpful and healing and that helps other people rise. And you said something really cute in the bathroom before we were starting here. Can I share that?
Yes.
Okay. You said to me that something that you loved about me or that you liked about me was that I help people help themselves. Right?
Yeah.
That's what you said. I love that. That really made me so happy. Because yes, that's what I'm all about. Okay, so thank you very much for joining. I'll let you go. Do you want to give a big wave?
Goodbye.
Thank you so much. And I love you. Okay, see you later. Okay, and I'm going to move over here. And it's not over. The surprises are going to roll in today. So stay tuned in as we really venture into a very important area, the sphere of our crown. And I really feel that it's kind of about putting our own light crown on today, because it's a choice that we make. It's a choice that we make that we say, okay, I've worked on the topics of my lower chakras and I'm now ready to really bring that light in, to own that light within my body. And, you know, for some it can be a little scary for many different reasons. Some of us have past life memories, have maybe vows and promises, secret promises that we might have made, karma that we might be carrying, just like this simple incident of going to the dentist, right? That was past life karma that was still messing her up. And sometimes we can be carrying quite some baggage and I say some dirt in our crown chakra that is coming from previous experiences where we had negative experiences from being connected to the light. You know, think about it. Our planet has been around for eons of time, and we have seen many different global crises in this time. So, you know, the likelihood, if you believe in past lives, that you have been around a few times and you've experienced crisis and war and transformation on global level is pretty high. And maybe you were a light worker one day and, you know, at that time other forces were leading and that wasn't safe to be a light worker. And, you know, we know many times when different religions were hounded down and massacred even. So if we think about all the things that might have happened in many different lifetimes, I think it's easy to understand that who we are today is a kaleidoscope of colors, a kaleidoscope of different experiences, memories. And if we then go into quantum level and realize that there are many different timelines, endless, infinite timelines going on the same time where your soul signature is having some kind of experience, I think it's a beautiful opportunity today to claim that power, to own it, and then to make a new choice. So to say whatever went on in the past, whatever memories I have, whatever experiences I had from times when it was not safe to be connected to the light, to that wisdom, to that energy, now I make a new choice. Now I know it is safe because now I don't need to do it on my own. That's the beauty of social media. That's the beauty of artificial intelligence even. We're getting to work with the vortex, with the matrix in a way like never before. Isn't that interesting? So I feel that by us getting together on an evening like this and making a commitment like that, making a choice like that, we are doing something way bigger than just about ourselves. This is about raising the frequencies in the collective. And I'm so excited, hi sweetheart, that you're all here. So now I want to get Roy, Michael, Martina on the camera. Let's see if I can do that. Sweetheart, I think you need to say that you want to come on camera. Let's see if I can add you. There you go. I want to approve you. Yes. And I am adding you, so stay tuned in. We have another surprise guest coming in. Facebook is adding my beautiful husband, Dr. Ryan Martina, who has promised to be here for this final day in our challenge as we celebrate that light. The guest declined the live video invitation. Sweetheart, try again. So let me tell you more about my path of becoming a channel. I've mentioned a few of the fragments of the stories in the past sessions, but here's the kind of chronological unfolding of events. I was born in England to beautiful parents, one a physicist, actually a nuclear physicist, my dad, and my mom, a really talented teacher. And I was born in England, and then my parents decided to live in Salzburg, Austria, which is where I grew up. We were always globe trotters, so my parents always believed in showing my brother and me the world. And although we, sometimes didn't have, I don't know, enough money for luxuries in life, we always traveled. And I think it's that travel that always enhanced and fostered that open mind and that curious mind that I have. That adding to the way that my parents brought me up, where education was top value. It was important to train your brain, to be curious, to ask questions, and I feel so grateful for that. And me, as a little kid, I think I was more the fairy. I was always happy. That's why they also called me Joy. I was always a very cheerful child. I was a little sunshine. I didn't have any worries. I grew up in this super safe environment. And then somehow school happened, and I don't know, I grew older, puberty hit, and I lost connection to all that magic that I was living in as a child. So I would read underneath my bedclothes about fairies and elves and unicorns and detective stories. I was always have been an avid reader. But I somehow lost that connection and didn't find it again until I started going on this quest. The moment that I had my own money, so age 18, I took all kinds of courses that I could think of. And I kind of made a list today just for myself. So with age 18, I already started delving into childhood regressions, past life regressions. I dived into psychotherapy. I studied new homeopathy, family constellations, tensor work, so a form of muscle testing, but with a kind of tensor, a stick with a ball at the end. I learned how to card read. I even dived into witchcraft. So I learned to meet so many interesting people and teachers where I always was, I think, one of the most eager students. I studied Tantra later on in life. I went to the School of Womanly Arts in New York. I studied NLP, shadow work, hypnosis, frequency medicine, omega healing, brain training, and matrix energetics, and it all kind of leads back into quantum. And that's why Roy and I have renamed or rebranded our company, previously known as just Crystalline, to Crystalline as the guidance, and then the company itself being the quantum multiverse. So in that quantum multiverse, I feel all the teachings come together and channeling suddenly makes sense. So this channeling, what is it actually? Channeling means nothing more than that you are a clear vessel, meaning not filtered by ego, not filtered by your own opinions and your own expectations, but a clear vessel, a neutral and detached vessel of divine wisdom, of all those frequencies that are out there that you are able to intentionally tune into a frequency and bring helpful messages to people around you or to yourself. And this is what oracles used to do eons of time ago. We've always had some form of divination in every culture. And I think it's so interesting that there's so much mysticism around it. And it makes a lot of sense because you see there were a lot of forces always at work who were not really interested in empowering the normal people. So those who had the money, power, and control were actually more interested in keeping people small. And if people were to get too tuned into their intuition, too tuned into, all that knowledge out there, they might have to risk that blind obedience, that unquestioned obedience that we also talked about yesterday, right? So it makes sense. And it also makes sense that right now, in these interesting times that we're going through, so much information is coming out. Literally, you can tap into anything at any time if you choose to. The question is, are you choosing? Are you really choosing what you're feeding your brain with? Are you choosing the information that you're allowing into your unconscious mind? Are you really choosing all that programming that's going on? And you don't have to believe me. You can call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever. I don't care. But if you really look, you will see that the facts out there are abundant, that we are being led into a huge illusion. We've been in this illusion for many decades of time. And now the information is out there. It's really just about choosing which side you're going to be on. And the side is not political. It's not a religious side. It's the side of literally the light and the dark. Where are you coming from in what you are doing, no matter what you're doing? What is your intention? Is your intention to come from love, to be able to help all boats rise? Or are you coming from the need of control, of having to exert power and keep others small to define your own grandness? And that's basically, I think, what we're seeing unfolding all over the world right now. And I think that's why it's so powerful to make this choice today. Are you in? Do you agree? I'm seeing unicorns. Chantal is here. And let's see if I can bring Roy in again. That was our big surprise today. And now we've just got to get technology to agree with us. So let's see. Let me continue. What is the opposite of channeling? I would say the opposite of channeling is projection, manipulation, having an opinion, and spreading your own beliefs, imprinting your beliefs onto whatever is happening. So basically putting all those filters in place and not being that clean channel. That's the opposite. Because you see, it's not about having an opinion. I think the best advice I could give everyone right now is, why don't we choose not to have an opinion most of the time? Because the moment we have an opinion, we have shut off all other opportunities. We're no longer open to learn. We've just decided. So why don't we keep that choice as big and as beautiful as possible, such as I choose the light, because that's always going to be right. It even rhymes. Is it always easy to channel? No, absolutely not. I remember, and I'm really grateful for that, that right at the beginning of my career as a channeler, and this happened, I told that story yesterday, after a workshop of Dolores Cannon of quantum hypnosis in Sweden, Stockholm, when in a past life regression, suddenly when my highest self came in, and we're going to be talking about that, I started channeling spontaneously different frequencies, and so also crystalline. So when we want to channel this information, we need to be in the most neutral and detached state. So what are the most difficult states to channel in? Well, stressful states, states where there's conflict around you. And here's the story. I remember when I was just fresh into channeling, Roy, put me in many different situations. Say, go channel. Go on, close your eyes, do this, you can channel. And I would channel in front of huge audiences, just sitting there with your eyes closed, really weird experience. And then also in conflict situations. So there was a lot of movement going on at that time, because I had just closed down my own company, and actually when I started channeling, I hadn't yet. Channeling told me to do that. But later on, it was also told to Roy that it was time to close the company that he was running at that time, called Martina Experience in Holland. And this was a really, really difficult decision. And I can tell you, me as, the new girlfriend coming in and suddenly channeling and saying this weird stuff, I had a lot of enemies. I had a lot of people who hated my guts, because this woman was saying stuff that was affecting them, and not always in a way that they wanted. So I really had to learn to be able to keep that state of neutrality and detachment, even in these most difficult situations. And I'm now really grateful that Roy made me do it. It's something that I usually say. I say, I'm now grateful Roy made me do it, but I hated him when he made me do it. Right, Roy? You know those moments. So anyway, from there on, I learned to really trust. And what I want to teach you today, because, when you have the limited time together, is kind of putting it all together with what we've done so far to explain the system to you, so that if you write this all down or you watch it again, you will know exactly what you need to do if you want to tap more into that wisdom, if you want to become an oracle yourself. And I'll tell you exactly what I know. I'll share all the steps with you, and then you can make a choice if you would like my help with that, or whether you would like to continue on your own, and both is fine. You can also have an opinion based on the knowledge you have right now, and I can be open to learn and change as I move on. Absolutely, I agree. Hi, sweetie, you're still here. I don't know why I can't get you online. It's, I suppose, meant that way. So you'll just have to listen to me and keep trying, and I'll keep adding you, and then maybe suddenly, bam, you'll be in. You in? Okay. So the steps to connecting to that divine wisdom are the following. The first thing you need to know is you need to be in the right brainwave state. Now remember, we talked about the beta brainwave state, busy, 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 alpha, a tad relaxed, theta, deeply relaxed, delta, super relaxed, and then we have gamma in between, and gamma is a frequency that comes up when we tune into compassion. So in these brainwave states, some are more or less ideal to channel. So you can definitely channel in delta, the deepest relaxed brainwave state, but it's going to be hard to stay awake, and you'll have a hard time moving a pen or actually speaking. So that's why the ideal state to channel in is theta, because that is when you are most relaxed, you're still conscious enough to hold yourself upright, for instance, you're still conscious enough to speak. The only challenge usually is that you need to overcome that kind of block that all channels, as far as I know, have right at the beginning, is to allow the voice to come through. And that's why, what's the second step? All chakras need to be balanced and aligned. You have to be able to bring that energy into your body. And if any one of your chakras is not aligned, the energy can't really flow that well, which means that you'll have kind of kinks in your system. And sometimes I get really strong visuals in my channelings. And I remember at the beginning when I used to start channeling, what I used to see inside of myself was like this drain pipe, right? So I would be very conscious of me in that drain pipe, and then suddenly I would kind of go to the edge of the drain pipe, and then the drain pipe would let in this bright light, and I'd kind of just step aside and chill, and I'd watch. I'd always listen. I'd always know what's going on, but I would no longer interfere. But interesting is that when I would channel things that would also affect me, or where I was maybe, I had an opinion about it, I would notice the emotional charge in my body. It would not affect the words that I would say, but me, Joy, would notice, oh, this is kind of triggering right now. So that's an interesting thing. So number one, brainwave state. Number two, all your chakras need to be aligned. Hi, Barbara. Number three, you need to set the correct intention. You've got to know, what am I connecting to? Why do I even want to do this? Am I doing this to be a circus act? That's fine. But then, own that. Say, I don't know how to be the best channeling circus act right now, and that's fine too. Or you say, I don't know how to be the clearest channel of love and wisdom for this person's highest good right now. It's a different intention. So I always invite my clients, my students, my kids to come from love. If in doubt, come from love and light. If in doubt, come serving your highest self or the other person's highest selves. Best is an and. So what I like saying is, even if I don't know how, to channel all the wisdom and healing that is needed right now for the highest good. All I do know is that it is so now. Now, when I want to connect to a specific frequency, I will say, even if I don't know how to connect to crystalline right now, all I do know is that it is so now. Even if I don't know how to connect to the shamans in Brazil right now, all I do is now. All I do know is it is so now. So it's rather like dialing a phone number in your phone. I'm excited. So you're literally saying to the brain, you're saying to the universe, here's who I want to talk to. Okay? That's step 3, intention. And then step 4 is you want to bring your highest self in. You want to bring that specific guidance to your life in, because it's just that much safer. It feels safer. And it's also nice to have that guidance kind of watching over everything, giving that protection. So I always connect to my highest self first, which is actually, for me, a normal state by now. Not because I'm so amazing, just because I have trained it so much. So the moment I get out of bed, actually before I get out of bed, I make that connection. So my highest self is always with me, guiding me without me having to worry about it anymore. And then at night, I always say thank you to my highest self, and I drift off into dreamland, giving my highest self the job to watch over me while I go have fun in the quantum field. So bringing the highest self in step 4, I find is crucial because it also helps keep an eye on that emotional imbalance that can come, especially at the beginning when you channel. Because you see, when you start connecting to that light, it's a lot of energy in the body, and that will bring physical shifts about. You'll notice how your appetite might change, your sleep patterns might change. You might wake up at 4 a.m. with a message and you'll have to write it down. So it's a big choice. It's a big decision to make, a beautiful decision. And it has to come from you. It has to be your desire. You have to feel it here that, yes, this is what I want to do. Because here's the other side. The moment you open that golden cage that you might be sitting in at some point, you have to know that the wind is kind of rougher out there. It's clearer. Your guidance will become so clear that there's just less room for excuses. There's less room for that gray area of saying, oh, I don't know. You kind of know, right? Good. So we want to make sure that we are clean and clear channels so that we are not connected to dark forces, because they might bring us a lot of power. So don't get me wrong, there's also, a lot to be said for those who choose to channel the darker forces because it's interesting to learn from them. But if you allow your life to be guided by those darker forces, you might gain in power, but you will pay a karmic price for that. There's always a karmic price tag. Same with manipulation. If we're coming from ego, if we're coming from wanting to force someone else to do something our way just because, then we might succeed. There are very clever people out there. It's happening, right? But in the long run, love wins, and truth will always come out. So I recommend to remove those filters of ego, to really work on your detachment and your grounding, your neutrality, so that your organs also are receiving enough energy. Because you see, if we are clean channels, then our body will actually start healing when we channel. If we are channeling energies that are not really compatible with our body, and if we're having to come from ego to kind of manipulate the messages and blah, 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 it's going to actually stress our bodies. So if you notice that after you channel, you're totally exhausted every single time and kind of it's getting dreary and darker, check out what you're channeling. Because if you channel right, it's actually a reviving, uplifting, and beautiful work to do. Make sense? You can't get in. I know, sweetie. I'm going to try it one more time because it's now showing me you again. Yes, I'm allowing you in. I don't know what else I can do. I'm so sorry. I'm glad. It's nice to hear, Martin. Good. Confidence is what I want to give you. Okay, so we talked about... Yay! See?
We made it.
3 times lucky.
I didn't know it was white
So
today,
good to
but by
see you,
accident
sweetie.
I
We
have
get into a
white
good
too.
position here. How did you enjoy seeing Grace?
Oh, it was beautiful. I just want to say hi, but I couldn't get in. But it's all good. And I didn't know the code was white, but I happened to be in alignment, so all good.
And you've got the black wall behind you.
Yes.
So before
Anyway.
we go on, is there anything you'd like to add to what I've just been saying?
First of all, about the channeling, yeah, a couple of people. Oh, okay.
Oops, we're not hearing you.
Sure, not hear me? Am I gone?
Yeah, now I can hear you again. Just leave.
Okay.
Don't move it. Okay.
Okay. So I think for some people, they need to make the distinction between channeling and their own processes because that can intervene. That's one. And so you want to be totally detached and neutral. So that's very important. And that's where also, for example, the 5 elements can help, that you will so sure you're detached. That's the hard part to be trained in. And the second thing is to be clear on what you're opening yourself to. that you absolutely certainly
The intention, yeah,
choose
you would.
for the love and light and to be guided to become and to serve. There are two things. One, channeling is about serving. It is serving on one side a higher intelligence who wants to pass on a message for betterment of humanity. So that we're serving them and they are serving us. It's a kind of an exchange. Like we're helping Crystalline and Crystalline is helping us. So in that way, channeling is a perfect way to not only get information, but also to be guided. It's a double whammy. But the one thing people need to understand is that they will be used. I mean, of course, you will be used to serve.
You
And
have to be. I like that you're saying we have to be in that serving mode. Because you see,
exactly.
I think many of us maybe have memories or triggers even around the idea of serving.
And the other thing also is that we need to also be clear in our boundaries, in the sense that some people, once they open the channel, still be bombarded with information that it can be totally overwhelming. So you must be able to tell them as well. Listen, this is what I have right now. This is how I can. I remember a time where it was like coming in one message after the other. But it's up to you to decide how open you are in the channeling or not. And
That's
I
right. I
what
think that's really important because, I remember, quite a few workshops where we would teach to, connect to the light and bring it all in. And, every now and again, someone would go literally kind of bonkers over it because they were so open. Remember that?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So these are the little warnings and stuff. But I think the greatest thing about channeling is that in time you're going to develop unshakable trust, unshakable faith, because the part that we sometimes forget to tell people is that you're going to be tested. You're going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
tested on your trust, so they will not give you always all the information that you really want. I want to know this, I want to know when and what, and when is the money
How?
going to come, and other kind of stuff. And they will, in a way, guide you. And here's the one thing that really opened my eyes, that the other side may lie to you, and not to lie in the sense that we see lying, but because they know you, they will give you information to motivate you to do certain things
Well, and
so
they'll
you get the
only give
movement.
you a little bit. Isn't
Yeah,
it
yeah,
true
yeah.
that we've so often had moments where we would have liked to see the whole plan rolled out, but they
Yeah.
just give you like this enough to go on?
Mhm. Yeah. But also, what I mean is because they know you so well, sometimes they will use things to get you to do something, and then you later on discover the why. But you were in your head, you made the assumptions it was going to be for another why. So I believe that from all the things we've done, that channeling is the most fascinating, most evolving, most, I would say it brings you closer to yourself and whatever. And the last thing I want to say about it is that they can also spank you. They can give you compliments, but they can spank your
Oh,
butt.
I remember channeling out on the porch in Asheville at the sanctuary quite a while ago, and you were asking questions, and they were just not gonna give you the answer you wanted. And I remember, me, Joy, feeling this aggro building up also in your side. I was like, okay, well, be like that then, right?
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah. It's fun
right.
when they push your buttons like that, right?
And that brought another thing that came to my mind that was interesting. I remember one time I was very frustrated, and we were channeling, and I was like questioning Crystalline, and actually saying like, okay, we got the best help on the other side. Why are things going so slow? Why can't we go faster? So that's when I was confronted with impatience, and I will never forget the answer. And the answer went something along the lines like this: in the linear time, it may appear slow, but if you have an idea how much work we're doing on this side to line everything up in the right perfect moment so that you are in the right place, another person is in the right place, so that things can happen, that takes work. Most people don't realize that. And then the nice example was on our marriage, the 8th of November in 2012, when we went to the lobby and we had a drink, and then this woman paid for us. And then when we found out, we asked her name, and she said Crystalline. And I remember we ran back to the
It was
place.
2 glasses of champagne. So here's the
Right.
scene. We had just got married. It was going to be our first glass of, yay, man and wife. So we went down to this lobby bar in this beautiful big hotel in Las Vegas, and it's kind of all loud and crazy. And then we went to this bar, and then this woman comes up with a silver, tray, and on it were 2 glasses of champagne. That's important because it happened to also be one of our favorite drinks, right? And then we said, how so? And then the waitress said, well, this lady over there wanted to invite you for these drinks. And then we said, what's her name? And she said, Crystalline. And we were like, no kidding. Right.
And what was so funny of that is that when we went channeling, that they were laughing and they said, "Do you know how much we had to do to get to her in that lobby in that moment when you guys were there?" So I want people to understand that synchronicity is the way the universe works. It will guide you to synchronicity, through signs, to metaphors, through symbols. So when you channel, it also means you need to become more aware, because channeling is not only happening when you're channeling actively, but it's happening all the time. It's all around you. The universe is moving and giving you signs. I call it like breadcrumbs. If you miss it, it might be gone. Like we have all these symbols. You have your red cardinal. I have my hummingbirds, and when they show up, we know there's a connection with that. So I'm really very, very excited that this changed our lives so much. And then, I think this is one of the things that we share together, of being on this path together in this form, and through the channeling being guided. So I'm very, very happy, and I want to congratulate you for doing this week for the people, and seeing what you bring to the table. I'm very proud and
Had fun.
happy. Yeah, to be part of it.
That's good. That's good. Well, it's fun when
Thank you.
I get to do things my way and get you to just enjoy it, right? And not have to
Mm-hmm.
for it. So I was now gonna tell our beautiful tribe about the different channels of information that we have. So you can stay on if there's something useful that I say. You can always add something or not.
Okay. Right.
And I just because we both are auditory kinesthetic people, which is quite interesting that we found each other and we have the same channels of information as the ones that are our primary ones, right? So I thought, why don't we talk about the different channels of information that we have? So I've just mentioned two. One is auditory, so stuff I hear. Then I have kinesthetic, that's stuff I feel, is physical. And then we have the visual channel, stuff I see. And then I have channel. And this might be interesting for you, Roy, because I've been doing a lot of research on this audio digital channel. This system comes from NLP, neuro linguistic programming. And up until now, research has hardly said anything about auditory digital channels. It's kind of, one doesn't really know what it is, other than it's the conversation inside of your head. Now, hold on tight. Be my girlfriend right now. Okay, ready?
Sure.
So for a couple of weeks, I have been thinking of getting myself a long skirt, right? I was just like, I want a long winter skirt. And I haven't told anybody about this because it's not really an information that's very interesting to others. So I just have kept it to myself. And I also have never gone online to look for it, for sure. I know that 1,000%. The only thing I did once, I went to a secondhand shop because I saw one in the window and tried it on, but it wasn't right. So yesterday, I was preparing the session for today, and I was going over auditory digital channel and all the information. Yeah, it's conversation in the head, blah, 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 right? And then suddenly, on my Facebook feed, up pops, not one, not two, 5 ads for long skirts. Now, I ask you, how does artificial intelligence, how does the quantum field know that? I didn't talk about it. I didn't do any search that could be tagged, right? So my suspicion is that the more tuned in we are, the more conscious we are of our thoughts, the more powerful they are, the more we're actually changing and having impact on the quantum field, and we'll get those messages back. So, it gave me a lot of peace because, as you know, I've been pretty sort of freaked out about this artificial intelligence idea taking over, 1984, we're all trackable. But, if you see it that way, all we need to do is we need to be very conscious with our thoughts. This is what I want, right? And then not allow the distractions to kind of mess up the clarity of our brain. Is that making sense?
Oh, definitely. I've experienced it in different ways where, for example, when I'm thinking of writing a book about a certain subject, all of a sudden, I start getting emails, I start seeing articles, this going up. It is literally the field is responding to whatever is going on in your own field. And I just want to add a few more things about the channeling, because sometimes channeling happens also, like what I'm experiencing now a lot is in automatic writing. Is I just
Exactly.
sit, yeah, and it just comes through me. There's one thing, and sometimes it's just a knowing. You don't know that you know. Your mouth starts to speak, and things come out that it's not your knowledge, but it's like someone else is speaking, but it feels like you, but you're noticing you're saying things that are not normal in your knowledge. And I think a lot of people experience that. They have these moments of channeling where it's not a conscious thing, it just happened in that. And also, a lot of people recognize, of course, that when you're showering or running or walking, information flashes through. These are mere bits part of channeling. It's not like the flow, but it happens more
It's
than
just
people do.
holding that space longer
Exactly. Yeah.
consciously,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I like
Exactly.
how you were mentioning that, we all have different ways of channeling. And that's why
Mm,
I mentioned also these informational channels, because
mm,
if you look at the different channels of information,
mm,
you have as many different ways of channeling, right?
mm,
So if we talk about kinesthetic
mm,
ways of channeling, then
mm,
definitely writing, dancing,
mm,
singing,
mm,
painting, playing
mm.
sports, music,
Yeah.
it's all
Mm,
in there. Although music also is audio digital and
mm,
auditory, right?
mhm,
Because you have to hear the music first to be able to write it down. And then if we have visual channelings, we have many great artists doing videography, photography, being more the visionaries in life.
mm,
That's a very strong visual channel. And once we learn to hone all those channels,
mm.
we're able to receive all that information from all over. And that's when it starts getting really exciting and overwhelming,
Right.
unless we're clear in our boundaries, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Super.
nice.
Thank you.
Well, thank you about that. We're gonna now head
Mm,
on
mm,
into the Tesla, and we're gonna take a Tesla bath. Today we're gonna do abundance.
mhm.
And I hope you can join us there. So you can click yourself out again, Roy.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you,
trying to.
Jonathan. Give him a
Mm.
big wave and thank you.
All
Oh, now
right.
you can see his desk. That was pretty. There you go. So that was lovely. So I'm going to head over to the Tesla now. This is now channeling meditation connection time. I'm going to put on the abundance program that is running for 15 minutes. And in that time, I will lead you through a little connection of your chakras, getting it all aligned again, opening up our crown, bringing in the light, and then bringing in your highest self, because that is the most important part that we definitely want you to at least experience in whatever way that wants to happen. So, as we just said, the less expectations you have, the less attachments you have, the less opinions you have about how this is going to be, how it should be. Do I need to hear something? Do I need to see something? Do I need to feel something? No, you do you. It's going to be perfect just the way it is for you. So just relax, please, and allow my voice to guide you, allow the frequencies of the Tesla to relax you, to connect you to that frequency of abundance so that you can feel so expansive that that powerful energy of the highest self, so your highest guidance, that part of you that's always watching over you, that wants to make sure you complete your mission in life, that part really has space inside of you. If you have physical issues, if there's something going on in your body, you're struggling with a disease, some organ or body part is feeling a little unloved, then simply allow your breath to flow into that part of your body and keep your mind as clean and as calm as possible. You could be repeating some mantras, you could be listening to my voice. I will be quiet in moments, then simply allow the tones of the Tesla, they're very subtle, but you'll hear them, to reconnect you to all that light. And yeah, just enjoy the ride. Sound good? Okay, so I'm going to wander over. We're not going to have as much light, but it's really bright anyway. I'm not that big of a fan of it. And then we will wander over to our friend. There we go. So get comfortable. I will turn on some music for us. Much better light, right? Yeah, much nicer. But there we go. And we will have the Devi prayer again, because I know you love that, isn't it true? Okay. Ready, steady, go. So relax. Become aware of the soles of your feet, the coccyx of your spine. Allow your breath to release all and any stress you may be feeling. Allow your inhales and exhales to be long and smooth and gentle. Remind yourself of our mantra. I'm at ease. I'm at ease. I am at ease. I am loved. I am loved. I am eternal. I am eternal. I am infinite. I am infinite. And as you speak the words of this incantation, notice how that loving frequency coming from your heart is pulsating out into your entire body, calming your mind, relaxing your brainwaves, bringing them into that ideal state of mind, the theta mind. Begin to notice the gaps between your thoughts, that space. Notice the space around your body, so much space. Deeply relaxed, completely safe. Activating your first chakra now, red. Imagine a red pulsating star in your first chakra, bringing warmth, safety, confidence. orange. Become aware of your sacral chakra now, below your belly button, over your pubic bone, surrounding the area of your hips, your sexual organs. And imagine this orange vortex of energy spiraling inside of your second chakra, releasing all shadows of the past and reconnecting to that light within you. Bring that light up into your third chakra now, your solar plexus. Imagine a beautiful yellow sun, warm, golden, yellow golden light. Looking into that sun gives you clarity, confidence, and that power coming from love, knowing who you are, a divine being, serving the light. Claim that power back now. Claim that freedom back. And imagine dissolving in this beautiful yellow golden sunlight as you surrender your powers to the higher good. Take another breath into the space of your heart now. Become aware of the space behind your chest bone. Become aware of the space around your heart. Imagine a green pulsating star in the middle of your heart, pulsating healing and love throughout your entire body, throughout all veins and arteries. Love, 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 nothing but love. So much love that you could almost imagine drifting and floating up and up into this beautiful blue summer sky. Light as a feather, just imagine. With every breath, your body is even heavier and even more relaxed while your consciousness starts moving up and up into this beautiful sky of freedom. So much space. Allow this blue color of liberation to flow into the area of your throat chakra. You are free, free to be you, the full expression. Safe to allow these frequencies to speak through you, to sing, to chant, to recite poems, to write literature, to speak words of kindness and compassion, words of wisdom, words of healing. Imagine floating and drifting even higher, coming into the ultraviolet zone now, magenta, purple, ultraviolet light, beaming into your third eye, removing karma, erasing curses, sacred vows that no longer serve you, choosing for the light once again. Now, allow any karma to be burnt in this ultraviolet light, so that you are cleansed, purified, and ready to be that crystal clear channel of love and healing. Moving up and up into the golden zone now. Bright white golden light. Imagine dissolving into that light as you open up your crown chakra, bringing it into your physical body, bringing it into your heart, allowing your entire body to be a channel of light. Now roll your eyes up and say, even if I don't know how, to bring my highest self into my physical body, to speak through me, to act through me, to guide my life. All I do know is that it is so now and I am fulfilled. I delete all programs that could stop me, any memories, any vows, any curses. All are totally erased and transformed into healing light. As I download everything I need to be that channel of healing and light now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is, so it shall be, or something even better. Allowing this golden white light to fill the space between yourselves, to remove any memories or imprints that no longer serve your highest good. Cleansing, purifying, recalibrating. And now downloading any messages of healing and transformation that you need to hear. And whether you are consciously aware of it or not, your highest self is now bringing you the message that you need to hear most. It may come in the form of a symbol, a sound, a knowing, a feeling. Whatever comes is good and right for you. Simply allow yourself to be open. And as I count from 1 to 3, this message will appear to you in whatever form it is right for you. 1, take a deep breath in. Exhale. 2, double your relaxation now. Go even deeper. Detach even further. 2 and 3. Allow this message to come to you effortlessly, gracefully, easily. Now, if you are conscious of it now, you could write it down, or to ask your highest self to remind you of this message, so that when this session is over, you will be reminded of it in an easeful way. You will be able to write it down, have full recollection. So now just enjoy that bath and this loving, abundant energy. Whilst your highest self shows you a day in your future, a specific day in the future, the most appropriate day for you to connect with your quantum self, to bring in any healing or information that is helpful to you, so that every day in every way you shall become closer and closer to that version of you that is the most healthy, the most happy, the most wise, the most compassionate, and the most forgiving. So in a moment I shall count from 1 to 5. And at 5 you shall be at that specific moment in time that is most appropriate to you, where you will be able to download all the helpful information that is right, deep down into your DNA. 1, take a deep breath in. 2, exhale, relax. 3, connecting to your ideal timeline. 4, getting closer now. And 5, be there now. Notice, is it day or is it night? Are you inside or are you outside? Are you alone or with others? Just notice what you notice. And now notice how your quantum self is encouraging you to become one, to merge your energy fields. So go ahead, take that step, take that plunge and become one now. Merge with your quantum self. Allow your hearts to join, allow your brains to join, all your energy centers, so that an instant recollection, an instant download of the most useful resources, talents and skills that you need in your life now shall be transmitted now. effortlessly, joyfully and gracefully. Enjoy this moment. Breathe, relax, and surrender to so much love. I am love. I am eternal. I am infinite. Every time you repeat this mantra, the energy of love inside of you becomes even stronger. As you open your heart to yourself, to that pure potential that you are. It's now time to ask your highest self any question you may have. Do so now. And receive the answer telepathically inside of your mind. Thank you, highest self. You can ask any question you may have. You can ask your highest self to place their hands together with your quantum self on some part of your body that needs healing. You can ask your quantum self anything, anything. And as you download all this information, notice how all parts of your body are realigning to that divine blueprint of health, your quantum timeline of joy and ease and grace. And allow yourself to relax in that frequency for a few more precious seconds. And then gently start deepening your breath. Take a deep breath in. Say goodbye to your quantum self, promising to reconnect really soon. And then gently float along your timeline back into the here and now. Reconnect back with your body. Breathe in, stretch up, say, yay, I did it, I did it. 7 days and 7 ways and many more. I have my ease. Sing, dance, do something. Come back in the here and now. Tell me that you're here so I know everyone's arrived safely. And then let's conclude this beautiful time we have had together. Yay, Mary's back. You followed the last session. Yes, do look at all the other sessions. We'll be able to leave them on Facebook for a few more days. It's always a question how long Facebook leaves things up, but we will leave them up then. Our team is working on bringing all these sessions over onto YouTube, so we can also reach more people there. So you can then also share it with your friends and share it with the younger generation that is usually more on YouTube rather than on Facebook, right? So please feel free to share so that every lesson itself is its own experience and its own whole healing session. So I think it's worthy of your share. And I'm so honored that you gave me this opportunity to show you a little bit of how I work when I work on my own. I took the plunge and said yes to Crystalline to completely channeling this challenge and not having anything, written out up front or even conveyed to my team. I would like to thank my team for being so amazingly flexible and supportive of allowing me to do it in this way. And I'd like to thank my husband and my daughter Grace for joining in and giving me their love and support. It means the world to me. So now the question is, how are you going to continue? I mentioned yesterday that I was in negotiations with our Italian partners, My Life, to see if I couldn't get a great offer together for you. I've made you lots of different offers. I've given you lots of different invites, meditations and trainings that you can follow to deepen any of these things that we've been talking about. But today specifically, I would like to invite you to become a crystalline oracle. We talked about channeling a lot. You might or might not know that Ryan and I together created an entire crystalline oracle training that you can actually follow online in your own time. There's a bunch of meditations, a bunch of clearings, the tools you learn. You go from, I don't know, bringing your highest self in, channeling your highest self, to remote healing, to astral traveling, to remote viewing, to card reading, to automatic writing. I literally put everything I know into that training that I know you have to kind of master if you want to become a pristine channel of love and healing. And for me, following Crystalline's guidance has been so incredibly helpful there, because, you know, Crystalline kind of tricked me a little bit. And even today, when I was scripting, you know, the elements of our session today, of the things that I wanted to talk about, she ended with this. And she said, well, Joy, I didn't tell you that actually this whole ease challenge was to find new oracles. We need more oracles on this planet who are willing to spread that love, spread that message of compassion and forgiveness, that connection to heart. And the whole reason why we made you do that ease challenge, dear Joy, was that you would be courageous enough to really share more about your story, share your own way of working without having your husband there supporting you. You know, just do your thing. And we need more oracles, because this planet is going through rough times, and they're going to get rougher. And in those dark times, we need more people who are, willing to work for the light, who see themselves as a light worker, no matter what they do. I say light workers can be cleaning toilets, they can be holding hands in a hospital, they can be, I don't know, studying quantum science. There are gazillion different versions of light warriors. I think a light warrior is someone who is embracing their mission, following their heart, and serving the light. And whatever they do, it brings them joy, because it's all about being who you are, not so much about what you're doing, although our actions, of course, are important too. So thank you for joining. Keep an eye out for a very special invite going out, I think tomorrow, to you in this Joy Tribe and in your email box. It's an incredible offer where you will be able to get the whole Oracle training package for a ridiculously cut price. I really negotiated hard for you. You can save, I think, up until 600 euros if you say yes within the next week. And you can also get just elements of the Oracle training, because they are 4 different modules, so 4 different levels. So you could just pick one module, and even the single modules have been reduced in price. So I'm really happy about that. And I really hope many of you will say yes to becoming a crystalline oracle, so that our vortex can become even stronger. We now have, a guesstimate of oracles that I know that we trained. I would say we have about 500-600. So it's time we hit the 1,000, don't you think? And by the way, today we hit over 10,000 members in the Joy Tribe. Again, something that I am deeply grateful to Crystalline for, because she was the one who kept encouraging me to create this Joy Tribe. She said, come on, Joy, you believe that it's possible to lead an enormous global group of people all united in one mission to spread joy? Then go ahead and do it. Stop waiting for your organizers and partners and, I don't know, people to allow you to do that, or even don't listen to them if they say it's not going to work. Just do it. And I think today we can definitely say it's worked. This Joy Tribe has grown completely organically. We didn't pay a bunch of ads and stuff to buy people to come here. No, you found us. You found us because you heard the calling. And that, I think, is the most important thing, that we listen to that calling of our soul, the guidance of our highest self, the magic and wisdom of our intuition, the power of our hearts, all those beautiful things we've talked about. So for the last time in this form together, I invite you to pray the prayer of compassion with me. Let's take a deep breath in. Close our eyes and say, may all beings feel safe. May all beings feel healthy. May all beings feel happy. And may all beings live life with ease. One more breath. Open your eyes, say yes. And if you have anything you'd like to share with me, if you have questions, if you want to share how this challenge was for you, what's changed for you, what's possible for you now, I would love to hear. The best way to stay in contact with me is in the Joy Tribe. Please don't send me personal messages. It becomes too overwhelming. I love open and authentic communication, transparent, have it out in the open. Just tag me in a post in the Joy Tribe and I promise I will get back to you and I will always give you the best answer that I have in that moment. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being the amazing goddess or God-man that you are. And I look forward to reconnecting with you really soon. Remember to check out your email box for that incredible invite to become a crystalline oracle. Namaste, auf Wiedersehen, arrivederci, ciao, tschüss, bye bye, I love you.